starting position. Stability of the body is important to ensure that the patient's attention is concentrated on the pattern of movement. Now, for example, I am doing for his leg, lower limb. I am giving for lower limb. So I have suggested a starting position of supine lying, where he was relaxed, where he can concentrate on his lower limbs. Okay. Next one is what? Pattern of movement. What is the next one? Pattern of movement. Now I am doing a pattern of movement. Flexion of hip with knee flexion. Flexion of hip with knee flexion. See, for that, if it is a passive movement, what I will do? You know the passive movement. I will stand here. If it is a passive movement, I will hold like this, or I can hold like that. Okay? I will just do passively. Okay? But if it is an active assisted, what I will do here is, I will ask him, can you bend, 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 bend. Okay? So now I am asking him to do the pattern of movement. At the same time, I am giving some substitute. Now, let it be a person can able to do up to here. He is not getting. Now what I will do here is, I will support him. But I should not do passively. Understood? Yes. Okay? Pattern of movement is nothing but doing some movement. See, this is a pattern of movement. Okay? So here in this pattern of movement, this is a pattern of movement. Eating is a pattern of movement. Okay? Next, support. I think we have missed one more. Fixation. What is the fixation? Now if I am doing for hip and knee, already the proximal is fixed. So no need to have one more fixation. Okay? Just what I need here is support. It's an support. I am supporting the limb. Already it is fixed there. Okay? Now if I am doing for, what is this movement? Dorsiflexion. Now let it be. If he is not getting dorsiflexion. Okay? Now can you do dorsiflexion? Okay? This is the maximum. Now because of some muscle paralysis or some strength problem, he can able to lift up to here. Now what I will do here is, I will help him. I will fix here, or I will fix here. I will help him to do the further. Come on, try to lift, try to lift, try to lift. Okay? Understood? If it is a passive movement, I will do like this. This is passive movement. But what I am doing here is, I am fixing, and I am supporting here for dorsiflexion movement. So I am asking him, first he tried to lift up to here. Okay, let it be, for example. Then what I will do, I will give some support and I will help him. Come here, come on, try to lift, try to lift, try to lift. It's slowly, and you have to give some support for him. Okay, next, that is support, fixation and support. Next is what? Traction. What do you mean by traction?
The joint.
Pull.
Releasing.
Pull. So what you must know, before going to do some movement, you have to give some traction. Generally we will use, if I am doing for hip, okay, I will do some traction, then I will go for the movement. You understood? See? This is an traction. Then I will ask him, come on, can you bend, 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 bend. Okay? So traction will help to facilitate the muscle. You understood? If I stretch the muscle, traction, stretch is all the same. If I give a traction, it will facilitate the muscle. What do you mean by facilitation? Facilitation means what?
Make it easy.
It's not make it easy. You are going to help the, making it to start, to contract. Okay? Next. So always, if I am doing some movement, what are the muscles now they are working now? What are the muscles? Hip flexors, knee flexors. Okay? Quadriceps? No, quadriceps. Hip flexors. See, for this movement, what are the muscles? What are the muscles here? Hamstring in the knee flexors, and here hip flexors. Here hip flexors. Come all of you, come this side. Okay, close the door. Okay, so it's a knee flexion with hip flexion. Okay, now what is the antagonistic muscles for this? What is the antagonistic muscle for this? What are the opposite muscles for hip and knee flexors?
Extensions.
What are the hip extensors? What are the hip extensors? Hip extensors. Gluteus maximus. What are the knee extensors? Quadriceps. Now, for this movement, this quadriceps and the hamstring, the gluteus has to be relaxed. Understood? If they are not relaxed, I can't get this movement. So, whatever the position you are choosing, okay, the opposite group muscle should be relaxed. The opposite group muscle should be relaxed. Okay. What is the next one? Last one? The assistance force. So the assistance force should be in the direction of the movement. In the direction of the movement of the muscle. Okay. So these are the 7. So what are the 7 techniques? We will ask you in your leg. All for passive movement, for active movement, for stretching, for everything. We will ask you the techniques. So what is the technique here? What is the first technique? Starting position. Starting position. What is the next one?
Fix.
Huh?
Fix. No. Better.
Huh?
Better.
Pattern of movement. What is the next one? Pattern of movement.
Support.
Then fixation. Then support. Then traction. Then it's an antagonistic muscle should be relaxed. And last one is the direction of giving a force, assisting force. Okay. So this is about the technique for active assisted exercise.
What's antagonist muscles?
Antagonistic means opposite group of muscles. Antagonistic means opposite group of muscles. Now, biceps. What is the antagonistic muscle?
Biceps.
Huh?
Biceps.
Biceps, the triceps. What is the antagonistic muscle for triceps?
Biceps.
Okay, so it is always the almost opposite group of muscle. Okay? Character of the movement. What do you mean by character of the movement?
Features.
If I ask you someone, both of, can you please lift your hands? Both of you, lift your hands. Both, same time. Lift your hands. Lift your hands. You don't know English?
Yes.
Lift your hands up. You do. Okay? Now down. Up. There is some difference from person to person. What is the difference here? Speed. The speed of contraction and how smoothly they are performed. This fellow will do like this. The other fellow will do like this. Okay? So, but here, what is the character of the movement? Always the movement should be smooth and the speed of the contraction should be normal. Now, you care now and you are doing all the things. Last one is what? Repetitions. Next one is what? Repetitions. It depends upon the patient condition. Repetition depends upon patient condition. And what is the last one? Cooperation of the patient. You need the cooperation. Cooperation means, what do you mean by cooperation? Cooperation. Whatever you are telling, patient has to listen and he has to do. Okay, if patient is not cooperating, I don't want, then you can't do anything. So you need a cooperation from the patient. Okay? So how many techniques for active exercise? 10. Okay, in your exam we will ask you about this 10. You have to explain to us. Okay? Next. I don't want to write. You have to tell me. Okay, because very important. Next. These are the effects and uses. I don't want to tell. Okay, this can come in your theory. Next. These are the contraindications. Contraindications are very important. Contraindication. What are the contraindications? Acute tears and fractures, swelling, immediately following myocardial infarction. What do you mean by myocardial infarction? Myocardial infarction. Heart attack. Myocardial infarction. Infarction means no blood supply to the heart. That is what? Heart attack. Heart attack. Heart stroke. Okay? Next, active free exercise. Active free exercise. Okay? What is the first one? Relaxation. What is the second one? Joint mobility. So if you are doing this, you are improving the joint mobility. Okay? Next, coordination. Now do someone. Yeah, all of you, please stand. Go for one leg like this. Do. Come on. Do it. Do. Good. Do. That is your coordination. What do you mean by coordination? Coordination means what? See, if coordination is it's a balance between two muscle work. Now, if I am doing like this, I am doing a muscle work, okay, which I can maintain this posture. If there is no coordination between the muscles, if there is no coordination in muscles, you can't do the pattern of movement, or you can't maintain the pattern of movement. So, if you want to improve the coordination, okay, you need to do some free exercise. What is the next one? Confidence. Confidence.
Be relaxed, more relaxed.
If you had a good free exercises, okay, if you have a good free exercise, you will improve your muscle tone, you will improve your joint mobility, everything. If you had a good coordination, you will play football or volleyball very nicely. So it will definitely improve your confidence. And what is the next one? Circulatory and respiratory. Your blood circulation, your respiratory, everything will get improved. Okay? So these are all the uses. Now what is the technique? What is the next one? Starting position. Now if I am doing some free exercise, who is the model? No? Okay? Stand here. So now, what is the starting position for him? Now you have to select the starting position. So I am asking him to go for straight standing. What is the starting position I am selecting? Straight standing with yard. Okay? So this is the starting position. Next I will give instruction. Okay? Instruction means what he has to do. So go for straight, yard standing. Okay? Then you have to rotate your trunk towards left side. Okay? And try to touch your right hand to your left foot. Left foot, don't bend your knees. Don't bend. Okay? Don't bend your knees. Okay? Can you please do that? Try to turn. Don't bend your knees and look your right hand. Okay? So this is what you have to instruct. Instruction is very important. Next is what? Speed of the exercise. Speed of the exercise. I asked someone. He is doing like this. That is his speed. Okay? Someone will do very slowly. But always, always the speed should be natural. Okay, and it should be medium speed. Then only you can get the effect of that. If you do fast, if you do very slow, there won't be any effect. Okay, so that is about speed, and it depends upon the age of the patient or what is the condition of the patient. Next one is what? Duration of the exercise. For how many times he has to do this exercise? Until the muscle is getting fatigued. So these are all some, come on. So these are all some free exercises. Can you please tell me whether this is a general or local?
General.